How to recognize your cat's risk for toxic plant exposure.
Plants provide us many benefits in our home, including reducing stress and creating a sense of well-being. So it's easy to see why we might want to include them in our home. We also love our cats, and they provide us many benefits as well. And cats are naturally curious, so they like to chew on things that are new to them. Unfortunately, many common indoor plants can be toxic or even deadly to our feline companions. It's also important to note that any material that is ingested by your cat can cause GI upset. In this video, we will explore ways to recognize toxic plant exposure, how to prevent it, and the proper way to respond.
So first we have lilies, and lilies are one of the more common toxic plants for cats. You'll notice they come in a variety of colors and are commonly used as indoor bouquets. The scary thing about lilies is that cats only need to ingest a few leaves for them to cause harmful effects, such as acute kidney failure. And what you might notice in your home is decreased urine output. Toxicity can also progress to neurologic signs. Next we have amaryllis, which is in the lily family, and it can cause vomiting and diarrhea, other GI signs such as pain and anorexia, which is not eating. Toxicity from amaryllis can even progress to depression and occasionally tremors. As you walk through flower shops, you'll notice that these bouquets are very appealing and often have a mix of flowers, so you need to be careful when mixed bouquets include lilies in them. Chrysanthemums, also called mums or daisies, have several toxic principles. The first one, lactones, can cause allergic reactions, which can be seen on the skin, and also pyrethrins, which are similar to those chemicals used in insecticides. Now, the flower has the highest concentration of toxins, so if ingested, that can cause GI discomfort or even incoordination. Cyclamen, also known as Persian violets or sowbread in this area, has a toxic principle of saponins, which can cause vomiting, diarrhea, salivation, seizures, or even death. You might be beginning to notice that vomiting, diarrhea, and salivation are common signs of toxic plant exposure. And this mostly has to do with the fact that any ingested plant material can cause GI upset, regardless if it's toxic or not. You'll notice that cyclamens can come in a variety of colors and patterns, and sometimes labeling at flower shops might not be reliable as people can misplace plants. If you ever have a question about what kind of plant you are purchasing, you should ask a store associate to be sure. Some cats get a lot of enrichment by going outside. The next two plants we'll cover are common toxic plants that can be found outdoors in your garden. First we have the azalea, and this is a very common plant in the southeast. All parts of the azalea are poisonous to cats, and they only need to ingest a small amount to result in poisoning. Lastly, we have tulips, which are similar to lilies and cause similar effects, such as vomiting, diarrhea, depression, hypersalivation. But tulips can also cause seizures. Next, we'll cover what you should do if you think your cat has been exposed to any of these plants mentioned in this video. This is the number for the ASPCA Animal Control Center, which you can reach 24 hours a day in an emergency. If this is a non-emergency, you're more than welcome to call our office and speak with one of our technicians about your concerns. If you would like to read more online, here is a link to ASPCA website where you can search for any plant you might have in your home and identify whether it is toxic or not to your feline friend. So to recap, the plants that we covered are lilies, amaryllis, chrysanthemum, cyclamen, azalea, and tulips. Try not to have these flowers in your home, and if your cat goes outdoors, you should inspect your yard. Be on the lookout for the clinical signs we mentioned, and don't hesitate to call us or the ASPCA if your cat has been exposed to any toxic plants.